AskReddit by Humble75. What words do Americans pronounce weirdly? Bold of you to assume Americans can agree on pronunciations. Seriously, most of these I'm like, wait, who does that? I'm in California. Those from the South will understand this struggle. Drawer can sometimes sound like drawl, drawl, or drawler. Draw. I hear people pronounce an invisible L in the word both, sounding the front of the word more like bolt than boat. MFW, I realize I've been saying both my entire life. Oh. The name Craig. Craig. You can add Graham to that as well. Where did they get Graham from? They are both Scottish Celt origin names. Craig and Graham are both hard done by. It's sort of like Caribbean. It's Caribbean unless you're talking about Pirates of the Caribbean. The rules are wild. Caribbean is an adjective for something from the Caribbean. Roof. Root. I seem to say root both ways. It confuses even me. Bologna. How do you even get from Bologna to Bologna? Want me to ask my American friend Tona? Some Americans say orange with just one syllable. Orange. Also the wax coloring utensil, the crayon. As an American, I still don't quite understand Arkansas. Yet Kansas is pronounced as expected. And then there's Arkansas City, a small town in Kansas, pronounced Ark, Kansas, or just Ark City for short. Which makes some sense until you learn the Arkansas River runs through the town, which the locals pronounce just like the state. America is a weird place, linguistically. Every time I hear supposedly I want to tear my ears off. But supposedly is an actual word, distinct from supposedly. Caramel. There is a second A in there. We really gonna call out skipping letters, when the British gave us Worcestershire sauce, wherein approximately 3 letters are pronounced? Rural. I'm American and I need at least 5 minutes of preparations and repeating it to try to say it correctly. When I say it I try to roll my tongue on the second R and I just can't. Hope you don't come across any rural jurors anytime soon. You're gonna shit your pants when you learn how many American dialects exist. That part, I'll never forget when I first moved from the west coast to South GA and was working at a Lowe's. I had a guy come in wondering about our chainsaws and he had the thickest Cajun accent I have ever heard. I mean the type of accent one only hears in movies and are typically convinced are over-exaggerated. We finally made it through the conversation and he left happily with his new chainsaw. But goddamn, I had to ask him to repeat every question statement about 3 times. Caramel as caramel. Caramel or caramel? I've heard it both ways. Aluminum, probably because we're the only ones who spell it aluminum and not aluminium. Canada pronounces it roughly the same way as Americans. Mirror makes me slightly nuts. I. Mere. Nuclear. Where they got nuclear from, I will never know. We had a president for 8 years who would often say nuclear. Solder as in soldering iron. Why do you say something that sounds like soda? Very odd. Mirror pronounced mere. Horror pronounced whore. Water for water. Water is said a lot around me. My wife's family pronounces realtor as realtor. I don't know where that extra syllable comes from. A couple of guys I know say relator. Colonel. Ah yes, the Ivy League school. Mischievous is mischievous. Not mischievous. A man incorrectly tried to correct my pronunciation in a bar, while trying to convince me to fuck him. Like, how low do you think my self-esteem is? Damn. Let me ask you a question. You gotta be more Pacific. Halloween. For some reason it always sounds like Halloween to me. I don't think I realized this until the Deathly Hallows from Harry Potter came out, and it took me a second to realize people talking about it weren't saying Hallows, so I would actually get confused sometimes.